Hey, what's up, guys? Go do the thing you said you were going to do today. Didn't you say you wanted to start that business? You wanted to start going to the gym? You wanted to start eating healthy? What are you doing? Something I realized was a massive drawback for me in all of 2025 was the fact that I just wasn't executing enough. I kept saying to myself, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. And that's not the kind of life I want to live. And I did some, I guess, self finding. I was just trying to find a little bit more about myself and learn and self reflect. And I realized that most of my biggest issues, always, and has always been this way, is the fact that I just wasn't doing the things I said I was going to do. And I'm 24, just turned 24. I have a business. It's a shop, like a physical shop. It's a tattoo shop to be very specific, and I'm a tattoo artist. And I realized that I've become comfortable. Not comfortable in the sense of, "Oh, I'm making so much money, I have to do nothing." No, it's actually the quite opposite of that. It's the fact that I know the shop is self-sustaining, right? I know the shop is self-sustaining. I'm not making anything from it. The shop is self-sustaining, and so I can go into work whenever I want. I learned the very basics of marketing, so I can find clients whenever I want. And honestly, that's such a bad mindset. I need not only myself, but whoever's out there that needs to hear this, get out of that shit. It's not gonna help you. It's not helping anybody. It's not helping me. It most certainly isn't helping me. I could be doing so much more right now, but I'm not. Now, with these 6 days of just self-reflecting, I've come to terms with the fact that I used to have these massive goals for myself, like hitting $1,000,000 by the time I was 25, like, whatever the case may be. Like, the initial number was having my first property at 22. That didn't happen. Having my of my investment property at 23, that didn't happen. Having my investment property at 24, that's not gonna happen either, because I've now realized that I'm setting myself up for failure. And, most people might not realize this, but when they tell themselves these things, I mean, it's a motivator, sure, but you take out the steps to the mountain. You're looking at the very top of the mountain, and you're taking out the fact that you have to hike, you have to buy the gear, you have to, train a little bit. You have to figure out if your body can handle the elevation. Like, you have to take these things slowly. This isn't a I'm going to go out tomorrow and become a billionaire. No, this is a I'm an artist. I'm gonna go buy a brush. I'm gonna go buy a canvas. I'm gonna go buy paint, and I'm gonna start by painting a fucking pear or an apple or an orange. I'm not gonna be painting a Medusa. I'm not gonna be painting Vincent Van Gogh. I'm not gonna be painting none of that. Absolutely not. I have to learn first. And something I didn't realize was, and this might be the reason why I spent most of my 2025 frustrated and upset, not only at myself, but at everyone around me, was the fact that I was allowing not only circumstances, but I was allowing my inability to filter out social anguish to affect me. Now, what I mean by that, because I know I kind of just fucking confused it, but that's the best way that I can kind of explain it for myself. It was that, you know, I'm a pretty new tattoo artist. I have the business, sure, but I'm a pretty new tattoo artist. I always wanted a business, so that's kind of a rare way to start and get into an industry, just having the business flat out, right? But, you know, you have the business, you hire people that know what to do, and then you just learn from them. I mean, that's kind of how it went. Um, and I was just picking up, from everybody, and inevitably, I believe they also realized this as well. And it was the fact that, hey, the person above me doesn't know that much more than me, or doesn't know more than me. And I realized that I can't allow that to happen. If I'm going to be and it isn't like a hierarchy thing, but if I'm going to be owning something and I'm going to be the quote unquote leader and I want to push people to do these branding, events and push these people to know, like, let's do outreach together, like let's do these meetings, I have to be of value. I have to support, I have to do more. I have to know more, I have to be more. And I was treating my days as if, I was young. I'm not. I mean, I am quote unquote young, but realistically, there are people that have been doing business since 13. They have 11 years over me. I started when I was what, 21, 22. They have 11 years over me. Do you know how insane that is? For me to sit there and be like, I'm doing something or I'm getting there, but I'm doing it in the most stupid way possible. Now, this is kind of just how I am. I am normally very harsh with myself. And, I've learned that I don't have to be extremely brutal with myself, but I at least have to be stern enough to where I figure out what it is that I have to do. And, these self reflections that I've done these past 6 days, quite literally just 6 days straight of just me thinking and analyzing and figuring out, hey, what am I doing wrong? I mean, I realized it. I realized it. And for all of you who may have gotten, you know, or may have come into the new year with these goals, do this with me. Let's do this together. Let's execute together. Let's do the things we said we were going to do. Let's wake up every day with the intention of, I'm going to get 1% closer to my goals. I think it's the best way to see any progress. And especially if you see the person that you're trying to do this with also doing it, it'll motivate you to do so much more. So in the comments, if you guys want to, if you can, please leave like what your goals for this year are. What it is you want to reach. Maybe you want to hit a certain weight, right? Also, if you want to go ahead and on top of the goals, write down how is you're gonna get there. It doesn't have to be super long. It can just be like, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and the first thing I'm gonna do is, drink hot tea, right? It can be I'm gonna push back my coffee intake, 90 minutes before, I drink coffee because I feel like it's making me crash earlier in the day. Um, but I genuinely feel like if we just as a group, as a collective, motivate each other, I mean, shit, we can get anywhere. Um, I had one more thing to share before the end of the video, and it was a quote from one of my favorite books of all time that completely shifted my perspective. And it was the reason why I said, you know what? Fuck everything else. I'm going to do what it is that I feel like I'm supposed to do. And that to me is art, right? The ability as a human to express themselves. So the quote goes, we all know it could end tomorrow. And we all know that if it did on some level, we would be upset with how we live today. And yet we keep living each today mostly the same. Why is it that knowing your life will end, but not knowing when, makes you feel like you don't need to do or say the things that you want to do or say? It's as if the uncertainty of the end of life imposes some mirage effect on the conscious mind, which convinces you that you have forever. That if every day I still have a tomorrow, I have all the tomorrows in the world. I lived like this. And then, of course, I started running out of tomorrows. The book is about an individual. It's called From the Notes from the End of Everything. It was about an individual who lived a super mundane life, who wanted to do all these things, but lived a very mundane life. They ended up going to the doctor because they had these consistent headaches. It ended up being a tumor. And it's just the perspective of from the beginning to the end of someone's life. Well, not the beginning, like the beginning of their life, but the beginning of them coming to that realization. And it's beautiful. I mean, I might have spoiled the plot a little bit, but yeah, it's incredibly beautiful. I mean, I can't even like begin to describe what's like the depth that book went into just how the psychology of human go. And it really just shifted me into this whole new gear. And I said, you know what? I got to get up and do it. So, you know what you got to do now? Just get up and do it. I will be posting more of these every week, every week, every Monday. Specifically, every Monday, I will have, you know, something uploaded. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know if it'll be 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I told myself last year I was going to post content. I didn't. I'm doing it this year. I love you guys. Please, please, please don't ever stop chasing your goals and your dreams. Make it easy for yourself. Don't look at the mountain, look at the steps. I love you. Bye.